Hey, y'all, it's your girl Claudia Jordan, and we are back with TGIF. We're here to spill the tea and break down the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. Now, sit back, relax, and get ready to sip this hot tea because we have a special show tonight. Please welcome Al Reynolds. What's up, Al?
What's going on, Claudia?
Please welcome Armand Wiggins. What's up, Armand?
Hey, I'm ready for this show. I'm super excited. I'm chuckling already.
Me too. And we got some estrogen in the building to even this thing out. We got my girl, comedian and soon to be late night talk show host, Lunel. What's up, Lunel?
Estrogen with some progesterone rising.
There we go. How you doing, friend?
I'm doing good. Glad to see y'all again. Soulmates out there in YouTube land. Hi, everybody.
But now I want to just give you your flowers real quick because you started a line. I have to post a picture, but I have one right here from your line, and she has a line. So please check out her cover-ups and dresses, and they're super, super cute.
Thank you.
I want to plug
we'll
that.
We'll tell them about it at the end.
Okay. So everybody's feeling good today?
Yes, I'm feeling amazing.
Yeah.
You good? Everybody good?
Oh, absolutely. After last night's celebration on the lawn, the South Lawn, at the White House, I have no other way to feel but great.
Okay, so let's get into it. Last night there was an event for the Juneteenth. It was pre-recorded. Well, it'll air on Juneteenth, and let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Al, how was your experience?
Sure. Oh, mine was so this is my first Juneteenth event. Of course, they say that this is the largest gathering of African Americans at the White House ever. I know Claudia may have gone last year, but this year was fantastic. I actually had the pleasure of meeting the press secretary, who's the first openly LGBTQ person to hold a position. She's a beautiful woman inside and out. She helped me a lot to navigate the press room. I also had the opportunity of seeing Tavis Smiley there, who was a pioneer in journalism and television, and also Ed Gordon. So for me, I'm sharing those three pictures because those were my heroes. But the night was, like Claudia knows, Gladys Knight, Patti LaBelle, Charlie Wilson. Kurt Franklin kicked it off. He got the crowd on his feet with all of his energy, followed by Dougie Fresh. Then everybody was really just wide open. And Anthony Hamilton, I can't leave out Anthony Hamilton. And we also can't leave out the message, which was that Biden said that he was going to keep fighting for Black America's freedoms and rights. And so for me, the night was just overwhelmingly just everything that I needed to re-up my confidence in the Biden administration.
And Raheem Devon and a whole bunch of others. It was a really nice night. I got to take my girl Chancey for the second time. She went with me last year. We had a great time. It's last year was the first time I ever had this. And then there's a shameless selfie right there. We had a fun little section over there. They was getting pretty crunk. And of course, one of my favorite, I call him my political boo, Don Lemon. Don, I know you said you're gonna come on the show, and we will definitely love to have you on here. He's amazing. It was just nice to be around beautiful Black people. I mean, it's the second time they had this. It's fantastic. I actually love DC. Every time I go, I'm like, why have I not lived here? I really enjoy it. And there's been some criticism of Biden and how he was up there. The guy is 81 years old, and he is still being an effective policy maker and getting a lot of things done. I had a great time, and Kamala was absolutely fantastic, and she really,
incredible.
People were really excited.
Dang. I would have loved to have been invited to the Blacks on the Lawn event.
Me too, Linnell. We got left out.
It was Blacks on the Lawn too, Linnell.
I don't think I could pass the background check, being that I'm.
Maybe that's probably the only reason you two didn't get invited, because there was a lot of people there. 4,000 people were there. Yeah. There was definitely a lot of people. I ran into a lot of people I knew in the lines. It was really cool.
And Linnell, they had Hennessy. They served Hennessy.
What that mean? I don't drink Hennessy.
I'm just saying, Hennessy is a very African-American friendly drink that we love.
Yes. Well, we should be there. We built the White House.
We sure did. All right. Well, let's get into these topics. Journalist Ernest Owens is calling out Shannon Sharp for advocating for what seems to be pedophilic relationships. This stemmed from a recent interview with Ray J, where the singer revealed that he had sex with a 34-year-old woman when he was only 14. Now, Ernest called the behavior grooming, molestation, and sexual abuse, while Shannon labeled it as dating. What are your thoughts on the situation? I'm going to go to you first.
I don't like anything about it. I'm very uncomfortable, especially with the Michael Rainey Jr. situation on the live stream. And now you got the Ray J, Shannon Sharp. Here's the thing. I'm not here to like completely bash Shannon Sharp, but at the same time, if Ray J would have said he was doing that to a 14-year-old girl, he would have protected his platform in a different way. So I just feel as though us as a community, we have to stop trying to protect like this idea of men sleeping with older women underage, because we're promoting this and that's still molestation. It's still pedophilia. And for me, that is the reason why there's so many traumatic men now, because they think that this is normal, this is okay. But if you were a woman, it would be a bad thing. So I don't know. I'm not really here for it. I don't like it. And I think that Black men should be protected more in these situations.
And if you watch some of it, it was disturbing when Ray J talked about it. He said he would go to her house and she said to get in the shower or before you get in my bed. And he did. And he was filthy still. So she put him in a bathtub, and the bathtub was so filthy with his filth that she taught him how to properly clean at 14 years old. And that's what made him love older women. Lunel, what do you think about this? He was
well, well,
Fran, he was 14, Fran, he was 14.
Yeah, he was 14.
I gotta tell you.
well,
Go on and let us have it.
I mean, I can't advocate sleeping with anybody 14, but you know, some of these young gentlemen present themselves as more mature and older, you know, like 14 could be misread to be 17. 17 could be misread to be 22. I've seen some very attractive young men out here. And if it wasn't so taboo, like in Europe or something, I might fall prey to a 14-year-old hot boy. But I don't think it's cool, though.
Dude, now we about to go viral. Oh, my God.
All I said was that there were times when other stuff was going on. I don't advocate sleeping with 14-year-old anybody, boy or girl. I'm just saying that some of these, you know, just like these men will tell you, I didn't know she was 14. She told me she was 22. She looked 22. That's what the men say. And so there are some very attractive young men out there. You know, everybody know I date younger, but I don't think it's cool to date mess or touch nobody that's 14. I don't know what they're going to go viral about, because I'm not advocating that. I'm just saying they do be cute sometimes.
Oh, my God. Let me go to some of the comments. D-Love says, Lunel's make me laugh already. Lauren M said, Ray J needs to shut up. He's talking way too much. And Empire TV said, this is statutory rape, and that's all there is to it. Al, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things about it that is wrong because it's statutory rape, but a lot about this conversation is true, and we can't pretend like it's not. If you talk to a lot of Black men in the Black community, their sexual experience when they first started having sex were with older women. That's that's just their experience, and we can't take that experience back. You know, there's also academic research that supports what Ray J said. You know, there are these popular polls that are done every year, and a lot of young boys between the ages of 14 and 18 have had sexual experience with older women. But it is statutory rape, and the conversation here would be different if it was a girl and a 34-year-old man. That's where the rub is in this conversation. But if we're honest, a lot of young men learn how to have sex with older women.
Okay. Yes, that is a fact. A lot of younger men learn to have sex with older women. It's still molestation.
Yeah.
No. It's statutory rape.
Yes, and it's molestation.
Under 16, statutory rape.
It's all of that. So let me talk, please. So we can't act like I think it's culturally more acceptable because, I bagged an older woman, so it doesn't feel as predatory, but it actually is. Like, the older we get, we realize there are a lot of men that do have a lot of trauma, to Armand's point earlier, and they can't really function in regular relationships. And they keep looking for women to be their mama after that. And they are fetishized. And a lot of men are sexually abused and don't even really realize what they were, but they were. That creeped me out when I heard the story of a 35-year-old woman bathing a 14-year-old. That was not her son. Like, I don't think that was cute. Now, Luna, I date younger too, like 10 years my junior. But like, I'm not gonna, I understand what you're saying. You like younger men, but we all know that no younger men.
they like me.
Okay. But we know no one here is really going to be talking to a 14, 15,
No,
16, 17.
absolutely not.
But
No.
I'm just saying, like the energy we have for Diddy grooming Cassie at 19 and he was almost 40. And it's kind of like, it's almost like laughable and passable for Ray J to be groomed at 14. It's like, it's kind of crazy to me, but it is what it is. That just goes to show like the world that we live in, and the respect is not on Black women. Black men are not they're not protected. It's just like, you guys are men. It's okay. You're supposed to do this. It happens. Women may end up rubbing you down at 14 in the bathtub. Get them, Tiger. Like, that's weird to me. I don't like it at all.
That's the exception, not the rule, though, you know.
That's right. All right, we're going to move on. The dating app Bumble is receiving backlash over their recent marketing campaign appearing to shame celibacy. Now, one of Bumble's billboards said, "You know full well a vow of celibacy is not the answer." Do you think Bumble missed the mark on this one? What do you think, Al?
Absolutely not. You know, I'm the branding guy here. And when I was in graduate school studying marketing, this was called shock advertising and shock marketing. Now, back in the 90s and 2000, we would have been fired to do this type of stuff because you always had to check, you always had to protect the brand reputation and the risk of backlash. However, this new phase of marketing, they lean into that in order to get brand recognition and the backlash to push membership. So they have done and touched all of the meters or metrics in order to produce a great marketing campaign. We're talking about it. It went viral, and here it is. This would be considered a success story now in 2024, but this would be considered a fireable moment back in the early 2000s.
Okay. Lunel, what do you think about this?
Well, you know, it's just like when they shame virgins. You know, in all actuality, you really are not supposed to be sleeping around, no matter how much fun it is and all that kind of stuff. You really aren't supposed to be doing that. And celibacy, especially in this nasty day and age, is really not a bad thing. So I do think that Bumble missed the mark on this. But like Al said, they're trying to promote their platform. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
Armand, let's go to you next.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know what the heck Bumble was until this. So obviously they did something right there. Now, in regards to celibacy, you know, a lot of people do that. A lot of men practice semen retention. It's a cleansing thing, and it's
Semen retention.
Yeah, and it kind of helps you focus and get some goals accomplished. And so I think more people should try it. You know, because I think, you know, being too sexually active could be a distraction for a lot of people.
Okay, so Ansel D'Angelo said, Bumble didn't lie. A lot of people will claim celibacy because they're over the constant heartbreak. I hear that. It was effective and truthful. Who Dat PYT said, they missed the mark. In my opinion, celibate people need love too. Why alternate a whole demographic? And Empire TV said, I see nothing wrong with what they said. With the way everybody is out here having sex now, I understand where they're going with this. All right. Well, we'll keep you posted if there's anything that changes with that story. Hey, get into this story. Can you guess the world's second most popular sexual fetish? What do y'all think, real quick, in a word? Sexual fetish.
Feet.
Bondage.
Well, we
Or
know
feet.
it. I mean, scat.
Ow.
Well, according to Daily Mail, it's farting.
Oh, goodbye. Thank you.
You don't like no farts, now?
And no, not even my own.
So you would never have a man squat and fart in your face?
You're out of your mind. And if you're doing it, remind me not to drink out of your straw.
Oh.
Well, US, UK, Australia, and Canada all share the second most popular fetish, while Brazil, Portugal take number one, which is bondage. What do you think about this? And do you have a sexual fetish that may be considered strange? Lunel, I'm dying to hear what your fetish is. You have a
I'm a lip biter.
Oh.
I'm a lip biter.
You bite lips. Okay.
Bite to blood or just like a little?
No, not that. Just,
okay.
You know,
Okay. Armand?
My family watches this show.
Let me say hi to your father. Hey, Dad.
Well, now they know you like to get your face farted.
You got a point there, Armand.
No,
You said worse stuff here.
Say that.
You said worse stuff here, Armand. You said worse.
Come on, you said worse.
Now, go to Al.
Al, fetish.
Oh, so my fetish. I've said it 100 times.
done it.
I'm into role play. I like role play. I love like dressing up like a nurse. Me be a
Oh
fireman.
my God.
Like I like all that role playing type of stuff. Mask. Robber.
Al, I think that maybe some, you blowing the illusion. You're a teacher, you're a well-read guy, but now I can't see nothing but you with a gag ball in your mouth.
Are you gonna put it in there? Are you gonna put it in there, Liddell?
I will not.
Oh.
Tried it. Okay.
Oh.
Fetish. I don't have a fetish. I do like a little acting, little playing around, I've done some fantasies a couple of
What
times.
about that? Getting that old booty slap?
Acting is role playing, isn't it?
Little spanky.
Yes. I don't like being spanked. I like to be a little choked, but I don't like to be spanked.
Oh, choke is crazy.
Good night. What are we doing today?
I like a little choke, a little hand around the neck, but not too crazy where,
Oh no.
It shows mutual trust. Okay, we gotta go.
Oh no, I don't trust nobody like that.
I know. I don't like that either.
All right, coming up next, a trans woman shares controversial dating views. And later, it's time for what we cop and what we let flop. We'll be right back with all that. Hit that like button. We'll be right back.
Lord have mercy.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
We are chopping it up with the host of Marriage Bootcamp, Dr. Ish Major. Welcome to the show.
TGIF.
When you and I sit down and have a heart-to-heart with no phones, no distraction, am I your person? That's the question.
Every weekday.
Kelly says, I love Ish on my screen. Is he single, asking for a friend?
Join the chat.
I am single, Kelly. Who's a friend?
Kelly, who's the friend? Please comment back.
On Fox Soul.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
My mom wanted my life to be better than what she had as a kid. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. And you always want the next generation to have something better than what you had.
Oh, Lord. Welcome back to TGI. It's the commercial breaks for me. All right. Writer and editor Raquel Willis spilled some controversial tea during a recent podcast interview. She shared that she does not feel obligated to disclose to men that she is transgender until after the second date. Do you think people who identify as transgender should be open from the jump, or is it up to the person to decide? Al, what do you think about this?
Ooh, Claudia, this is really tricky because this is deeply individual and it's complex and it's very personal. For me personally, I would like to know from the first date, but I do have a much more open mind than most. But for me, the thing that I would be concerned about if you didn't make it known sooner than later would be their safety. We know the statistics around the hate, the violence towards the transgender community is just overwhelming. So for me, I would like for that to be alleviated and that to decrease. And I think that comes from open communication and being upfront about your gender from the very beginning.
Armand, what do you think?
I feel like maybe on the first date, but not like upon asking. You don't, ask someone on a date and then say, hey, I'm transgender. Maybe on the first date, maybe even the second, because here's the thing. Everybody has a bomb that they drop on you at some point. Yours just might be transgender. His might be he's got a baby mama with 5 kids on the loose. You know, everybody has something that they're withholding and they're a little bit nervous about sharing. And they do it, you know, within time. So I feel like, you know, maybe you just want to have a little fun, go on a date, hang out, get some free food, have a good time. And if it starts to escalate, then you start to let that person know, hey, before we get to the next level, I did want to put this out there, because perhaps the transgender woman may feel like, you know, you may have never given me a chance had you known I was trans, but maybe we're the second date in and you might actually like me for me and you may be willing to try it.
Dark Skin Queen said you are tricking them.
No.
Now, do you think they're tricking them? What do you think? Should trans people tell on the first date?
You're asking me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, this is very, very tricky because it could involve violence. You know what I'm saying? And there are some gorgeous, beautiful, amazing trans women out there that, aside from the fact that they got a penis, you like their personality, you like the way they smell, you like and then, you know, I don't know. I think if I were with somebody, I would want to know up front. But if I were the person revealing that, and I really like this person, I might hold back till the second date or so and just bridge the subject and gauge how they are on the subject of people dating people like that and maybe feel them out. And if they sound like somebody that's not with then, you know, maybe you should go ahead on and cut the relationship off right there and count your blessings. You know, I have been very close friends with someone who is being involved with a transgender woman right now. And this transgender woman is beautiful. I got no shade. And the guy I know is, you know, been blatantly heterosexual, allegedly, but he's big old freak. And so, you know, I don't have any shade about it. But it's the fact that people can harm or kill people. Right. We don't want none of that happening. So I think that it's better to maybe get you one cute date out the way. And
That's
then
what
on
I'm
the
saying.
second one, you know what I'm saying? And then on the second one, be like, you know, there's so many people, so many trans women in the world. Like, how do you feel? What would you feel if you were to find out that you were dating a trans woman and see what the mood is of that person? And then you know whether you need to progress or whether you need to pull back. And maybe you don't have to reveal nothing. You can just find out how they feel about it.
I'm going to go against the grain on this. I feel like, you know, I think we're being extra cautious because it's the question is about trans. And I think we have to keep it very fair. I'm always about fairness here. Just like I would want to know, don't tell me on my first or second date that you're married. Don't tell me on our first or second date that you have HIV. Don't tell me on your first, second, third, or fourth date that you have other things going on that might change my opinion. If you are so happy living in your truth and you are secure in who you are as a beautiful trans woman or a fantastic, handsome trans man, then you should stand on that. That's why I have so much respect for people like T.S. Madison who put it so out there. So people coming to T.S. Madison's inbox already know that she's trans. So there's no bomb that's going to drop later on. And I admire that. And I know it had to be scary, especially 10, 15, 20 years ago. But I think we're in a time now where it's not all the way there accepted, but it's far further along. And I think if we really do want to avoid violence and people getting erratic, mad. Imagine you're on a second date with someone one-on-one. You don't really know that person well, and then that's when you drop the T and they do something to you. I'd rather that person know before we even go on our first date. Yes, it may be feeling like you're exposing yourself, but if you're secure in who you are as a trans person, you should be like, you know what, this is, eventually you have to tell them anyways. I'd rather not even waste no one's time. That's my opinion.
Do you think this is interesting? So you think the response would be different on the second date than the first date?
I didn't say that. I said I didn't say that.
Do you think the hate would be different? Do you think the hate would be different if you told them on the first date than the second date?
I didn't say that. I said before the first date.
No, I'm just saying, I'm asking a question.
I don't know that, but I think that you should know, you have conversations before you meet up with a person. This is my opinion. So y'all can attack me if you want to. I'm still going to stand on, I'm going to stand on what I feel.
Right.
I feel like you should have these conversations before you go out with that person. I think it's fair to them.
So
and
you're saying have the
wait,
conversation
let me finish my sentence.
before.
Let me finish my sentence, please. I think a person that's going to end up loving you anyways will see the beauty and how brave you were and how much, how confident you are in that you are trans, and say, you know what? Go ahead.
I think you're giving people a little bit too much credit.
Right.
But I feel you, Claudia. I would want to know. But let's say let's reverse it and say I go out with a fine ass trans man, right? He's fine, treat me good, got money, and maybe he didn't tell me till the third date that he trans. Well, now I might tilt my head and go, well, dang, you really are super cool. And I don't really know what this is about, but I kind of like you. And, maybe let's not tell nobody else. And maybe let's go out on date.
That's why you wait. But then too, all trans people don't have the penis. So there may be some that are post-op. And so I feel like that buys you more time.
Buying someone time.
Wait a minute.
Buying time is more time for you to manipulate them. That is your buying time to try to trick them. That's what y'all doing. I'm standing on business. That's what I think. And guess what, y'all?
I just feel like can
I finish my sentence? Al,
Jesus,
please,
can I say something?
You keep cutting me off, Al. I was in the middle of saying, that's why I was saying, you back on this again. Okay. That's why I was saying, Al, and all of y'all, we have a panel discussion. The question is your opinion. So you're totally entitled to have your opinion, Al. You can tell your truth when you're married.
I'm just trying to have it. All I want to know, for me, in my opinion, is that I don't think it's this easy. That it could be like, I want to, stand in my truth. I just feel like there's so many moving factors around this.
Because look,
have your opinion. I have mine.
No, but look, Al was married to Star.
That's true, but never told.
Talking about how gay he is on this show. Did you come out and expose yourself to Star when you first got married?
Oh my goodness. I have never been not truthful with anybody that I've been in.
So Star knew she married a gay man.
I've talked about this on this platform before. I have always been very honest with all of my partners about my sexuality. When I date all of them. At the time that I date them, I've been very honest and open about my sexuality.
Okay.
All right, we're going to end on that note. We're going to go to break. Coming up next, it's time for what we cop and what we let flop. Wow. And later
on, hit my joint because my nerves.
Wow. We'll find out what people do in crazy situations, but we just had one. We'll be right back.
Wow.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out."
We are chopping it up with the host of Marriage Bootcamp, Dr. Ish Major. Welcome to the show.
TGIF.
When you and I sit down and have a heart-to-heart with no phones, no distraction, am I your person? That's the question.
Every weekday.
Kelly says, I love Ish on my screen. Is he single, asking for a friend?
Join the chat.
I am single, Kelly. Who's the friend?
Kelly, who's the friend? Please comment back.
On Fox Soul.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and like jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. Like, he's got to come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
Welcome back to TGIF. So during the break, we found out Lunel likes men with face tattoos. And I said, I'm going to go with you. I said, I like the neck tattoo.
I
So.
met one guy, one person who had a face tattoo who could have got, who I would love to give the business to. Not my preference at all.
But you coming around to it. So if you had 2 or 3 dates, then you might get tricked into it.
Well, I mean, he can get the business with that face tattoo, but he can't go. He can't come to the cookout.
As long as he don't want to fart in your face.
Behind closed doors.
All right, y'all. People are always trying to pull a fast one by selling outrageous products and services. So let's cover the foolery in Cop or Flop. All right, y'all. First up, condom brand Skin has launched a $100 Supreme Feel condom. The brand is claiming that this will be a new era in sexual wellness. Is this something you cop or flop, Armand?
Child, people, you can't even give condoms away to people these days. So this is a flop.
All right, Lunel.
Oh, no, I just get me the regular old extra large chic lamb skin. I'm good.
Al?
Yeah, this is a flop for me. And of course, I know it's a flop for you all because you guys don't believe in condoms. So not $100 condom. I know you're not using that.
$100.
I bought a $100 vape before.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, $100 condom. That's a bit crazy. All right, Chris Brown is back on tour and going viral again for his infamous meet and greet photos with his fans. Now, last year, Chris charged his fans $1,000 to take an intimate photo with him, but this year,
intimate.
Yes, well, he's grabbing their booties. So this year, he's upping the price to $1,111 to coincide with his latest album, 1111. Do you think this is a cop or a flop? So he takes pictures like grabbing like a handful of cheeks. Would you do that with Chris Brown? Would you pay that money?
Me?
Yeah, no.
I have had enough of paying men in my life. All my employees mostly are men. All I do is pay men. I'm not going to pay no man Chris Brown and nobody else for no picture. No, I'm not doing it. Nope.
Okay. All right, Al?
This is definitely a flop to me, but you know, everybody loves Chris Brown. But just given the climate of where we are with sexual harassment, with rape claims and all that type of stuff, I just wouldn't put myself in the vicinity of being able to later be accused of anything, especially some of these explicit sexual positions that he takes the pictures in.
Yeah, I think, you know what, if they want to pay for it, it's fun for them. And he's doing it on camera, so it's like everybody can see. They paid for this, they asked for it. But, you know, there are people that never want to forgive Chris Brown for the rest of his life.
But why you want to pay somebody who already clearly got more money than you do?
Oh, this meet and greets, you know how they be paying. They be paying crazy money for that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, that's not how we would think. But these people that are in these small towns he goes and visits, they probably like, I'll never see him again. I'm going to get my picture of him grabbing my butt, I guess.
I did a whole video with Bruno Mars, and I got to grind my booty up against his groin, and didn't nobody have to pay nobody no money. You can pull it up.
Yeah, you got a free cop.
I did.
Who that PYT said, okay. Said, flop, you're not going to molest me, then have me pay for it. And Adrian M said, cop, not mad at him. It's his money. And Empire TV said, this is a lawsuit waiting to happen. And DP Johnson said, Chris can kiss me and grab my booty for that price. I'll pay it. That picture is priceless. All right, moving on.
Right. You still go home. You still go home alone.
I'm doing the Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, however you want your payment, baby. I'm so mad I'm not a woman because I'd be up there copping.
You may have to be no woman on mine.
Hey, don't you do that. Don't you do that, Lunel.
The money is that if you paying for a picture of
no, I want the picture like they got.
Well, he can't discriminate. The dollar didn't discriminate.
Ooh, all right.
All right. What about this diamond toilet? Would you guys cop it or flop it? Take a look at it. diamond toilet. Al, what do you think?
There's something about that diamond toilet that I am attracted to. I like fancy toilets, though. I like the bidets. I like the gold toilet. So I think it would be in one of my rooms in my house if I could afford it.
Okay, Armand.
I agree. I feel like that's the throne, baby, right there. And I like the black one. If I could afford it, I would definitely cop that. That's fire.
Okay, Lunel.
If I could afford it, I would get it, but you can't use it. It'd have to be in a bathroom. That would be like a display bathroom. Look at my diamond toilet. And by the way, check out my mink rug on the floor and all that. You can look at it, but you can't use my diamond toilet. But I might use it once or twice.
I try to cop this for real in real life. I saw it on Instagram and it doesn't really, I think it's like an AI thing. It's a concept piece. So I don't really know, but when I find out if it's not crazy expensive, I'll put it in a group chat so y'all can try to buy it because it's super dope. I never seen nothing like it. I think it's super fly. Empire TV said I like fancy toilets to poop in, major cop and DP. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, that was fun. Let's get back to some more topics and more shade. Take a look at what a woman said about how often she washes her bed sheets.
Oh, Lord.
More often.
So are you telling me?
I'd like to know how often you wash your pillowcase. Tell me. Give the listeners an honest.
Okay, for real.
Yeah, for real.
I probably wash my sheets in my pillowcase once every 6 to 9 months.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Maybe longer than that, actually. And
Don't ask me to come on here no more, y'all. I'm not qualified.
That's too long. That's too long. If she would even say like once a month, I'd be like, okay, I get it. But once every 9 months, I'm just saying, like, being generous, giving her time. You know what I'm saying? But 9 months, almost a year, that's crazy.
Do you know how dirty, how much dead skin cells, mites are in there, shed sweat, what they must smell like? Lunel, what you think? I know you.
Well, first of all, I don't change my sheets at all because I have housekeepers. And they come when I feel like maybe actually I'll go like 3 weeks, maybe a month. And because I'm not sleeping with nobody, it ain't no stains in the bed. I'm always clean when I get in the bed anyway. If it is mites and skin, it's mine. But I'm not going no 9 months. But see, you see what that issue is. I said what I said.
All right, Al, what about you? How often?
Oh, definitely not no 6 to 9 months. I could go, I would be like Lunel, like three weeks. But you know, like Lunel, I have housekeepers that come every 2 weeks, so they usually change me out. So I'll say now I do 2 weeks.
I change mine every week because I have a wash and dryer that's walking distance, so it's like not that big of a deal. And I change my bedding, but I have cats that sometimes try to get up there, so of course I'm overly clean. I also have a baby gate, so they don't try to get my room too much, but they do on occasion get through. So no, you gotta every week, and sometimes twice a week. So,
that you might be a little OCD.
I am. I'm constantly wiping stuff down. I'm definitely OCD when it comes to clean. You will not find filth in my house. But 9 months, girl, you nasty. If you taking 9 months to clean your bed, what's the rest of
she's nasty.
What's your body giving? What's your body giving? What's your life giving? Victoria Robinson said they don't already bathe. This is throw up worthy. And a fly girl said, damn, white people don't wash nothing. And Jazzy Jem says she must like the way her funk smells. And Nicole Perry said I do it every 2 weeks. And that's only because I don't have a washing machine. All right. Well, she's definitely out of pocket for that. Hey, keep it locked because coming up next, find out what we would do in crazy situations. And later, Chrisean Rock, Lunel's favorite celebrity, is
oh my God.
Charges. We'll be right back.
Why?
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
We are chopping it up with the host of Marriage Bootcamp, Dr. Ish Major. Welcome to the show.
TGIF.
When you and I sit down and have a heart-to-heart with no phones, no distraction, am I your person? That's the question.
Every weekday.
Kelly says, I love Ish on my screen. Is he single, asking for a friend?
Join the chat.
I am single, Kelly. Who's the friend?
Kelly, who's the friend? Please comment back.
On Fox Soul.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Not anything but lonely. Every day with turtle is a perfect day.
Welcome back to a very hot show. Soulmates, have y'all ever thought about how you would handle yourselves if you were placed in the middle of an unexpected situation? Well, we'd like for you to chime in on the fun in hashtag WWYD. That stands for What Would You Do? All right, y'all, watch what happened when a woman gave some unsolicited advice.
So what do I need?
1 cup water.
1 cup of water.
In the microwave 1 minute.
Microwave 1 minute.
Get warm water.
Warm water. And what else?
And after you cut the hot lemon juice.
The hot lemon juice?
Yeah, hot lemon juice. Put together with the water.
With water, and it's gonna help me to do what?
Lose weight.
Yeah. Lose weight.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can put a little bit of sugar.
Just a little bit of sugar. Yeah. So what do you want? What else should put out? What else should I put in there?
Huh?
What else should I put in there?
Maybe you put a little bit sugar or honey, honey, you know.
Yeah, honey.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna help me lose weight.
Yeah.
Did I ask you that?
Because I take every morning.
You take it every morning. Okay. I'm gonna take it.
Let me tell you something. Anyone who's been to a nail shop knows they will give you unsolicited advice. It happens all the time, but this is out of pocket now. Mom, what would you do if someone called you out like this? You're there for something else and they're going to give you some weight loss advice. What would you do?
It was so sweet. This was so genuine, though. I felt like it was honest. And I think for me, I personally probably would have died a little bit inside if I was the girl, but this was the wake-up call that I would have needed, clearly. If I didn't ever think I was fat before, at that moment, I knew that I need to get on the treadmill that afternoon. So for me, this was the wake-up call for her that she needed, because she clearly had been putting it off, and she's bigger than she had even thought, because now people are seeing it on the outside. So I wouldn't have got offended.
Oh my God, Al, would you been offended?
Oh, no, I wouldn't have been offended. Because I'm with Amon on this. The nature in which it was delivered was not one hey, you're a little on the big side. It was more and helpful, this is a good way to reduce, improve your digestion and curb your appetite. So as long as the messenger doesn't come venomously towards me, then usually I'll take it in stride.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Lunel, what you think?
So I'm supposed to drink hot lemonade, and that's gonna make me lose weight. And I'm supposed to lose weight but get diabetes because she said, the sugar. You don't tell nobody to add no sugar. She full of it. She trying to kill that girl. What she trying to do? No.
The only thing she got wrong, Lunel, was the sugar part, because the honey, the lemon, and the hot water.
That's important. Sugar.
That's kind of the biggest deal there.
My virtual doctor said that sugar is like broken glass going through your vein. So she telling, hey, fat black girl, go drink hot lemonade, put black sugar in, make you lose weight. And she trying to
take every morning.
Mr. Burns says, why do we treat overweight people like less than human? And Unique Jacob says, she's just an old Vietnamese lady. They know the secret. Well, the segment is what will we do? I would probably handle like her. Like she filmed her and she was getting it. And then she's like, did I ask you that? because she made up a point. Yes, she was polite, but she did give unsolicited advice. But I probably would feel a little bit of a way if you just gave me advice that I did not ask for, especially if I'm not even there for no wait list. But okay, moving on. I'm sure we've all heard about the shark attacks that happened this past week. Well, one man was able to save himself from a fatal shark attack by punching the shark in the face and neck. The 46-year-old man suffered bites to his left hand, his left arm, and his torso. Do you think your reflexes would kick in during a shark attack, Al?
Yeah, I think this is something that I learned, in Boy Scouts, like younger. So you're always supposed to hit them in like sensitive places, like their nose, their eyes, places like that, their gills. You're supposed to hit them there if you're ever attacked by a shark so that they would leave you alone, because it's almost like a sting to them, and it makes them reset and it makes them move on. So yeah, I would probably do the same thing. Hit him in his nose and his eyes.
Okay, Armand?
Yeah, you know what? For me, I feel like my resources would kick in, my reflexes. But I think for me, in traumatic situations like this, I think I've always told myself that I would just die. You know what I mean? Just die. Just have a heart attack right in the moment. You know what I mean? Just die right now. I feel like I just probably would just tense up and die.
You're gonna tense up and die.
I can't relate to this at all, because I don't go into water deep enough to be attacked by no shark unless he's going to come up on the sand, come into the bar and bite me on the ankles. Because I have my own pool. I only swim in pools that say 5, 7, 9, 12 on the side. When I go to Jamaica, I don't go out there wading all out in the water, splash, splash, give me a pina colada. I'm not going out there. I'm not out there like that.
Hey, your vape pen.
You know it.
I think about this often because I do be in the water like that. I snorkel and all that. And yes, they do say you're supposed to punch it in the nose and the eyes, but I think that sounds good. But I think I would totally panic, and I don't know what I would do. I'd probably just panic and not.
I would drown because I'd be trying to scream underwater.
Right, that part. Hey, one of the soulmates I want to make sure we wish a happy birthday. Amika Adams said, I hope they wish me a happy birthday. I am a soulmate, so happy birthday to you. I want to make sure.
Happy birthday, Amika.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
All right, Watch Your Kids has a whole new meaning after an 80-year-old drove his father's van to McDonald's because he was craving a cheeseburger. The boy learned to drive, 8-year-old. The boy learned to drive the van on the internet and took the joyride after both of his parents fell asleep. What would you do if your child pulled a son like this, 8 years old, driving your car because he hungry? Lunel?
Well, see, I'm from Tollet, Arkansas, where kids actually do drive four-wheelers, cars, and everything else at 8, 9 years old. But they don't get in the car and go to the store. Okay, so he gonna drive the car. He got his own money too. Can he reach the window? Like, that's stupid. He need a good old fashioned get the strap, and I don't condone it in any way. I think it's ridiculous. Once again, I don't know why we're doing all these white folk problems on this show.
Ryan, what would you do?
To him, I probably would whoop him, right? But then to you guys, I'd come back and talk about how impressed I was by that young man, because for him to get out there and get in that car and drive, that would be something that we would have to hone into and realize that, hey, this kid can have a bright future. That's a smart little guy. You get what I'm saying? We would have to guide that a little bit, So, yeah. But I wouldn't tell him that. I would spank him, but then I would go brag about it to my friends, like, wow, that was kind of impressive.
Chosen One said they need to feed that child. That's why. Al, what do you think? What would you do?
I would be very concerned. I would have a conversation that we would have as a black kid driving the car. You saw what happened to those other kids that we covered on the show who had their mom's car and picked up the wino and took them down to the store. Child Protective Services got called on those young black kids that were too young. So for me, I would be concerned that my child would have that, incident or run in, and that wouldn't be cool at all.
And that's terrifying to even think of your child driving a car in traffic. Like I said, I'm from the South, so they can drive on roads that ain't hardly got nobody. Right. And a lot of kids do learn how to ride horses, drive cars, and everything in the South. But you talking about I can't see no 8-year-old trying to tackle that 405 freeway in LA.
Or a McDonald's drive-through. That's impressive. Getting
That
around
is.
McDonald's drive-through
And they
and not
got
hitting
money
anything.
too. I need to be dating that 8-year-old. He got a car and money.
Sneaker Queen said, well, kids in the South come out the womb driving. I will say this. I would probably brag to my friends too, like, yo, can you believe his mom? But then I would be nervous because like that can actually kill himself or kill somebody else. And that would make me, I would feel horrible.
If the McDonald's don't kill him.
That's true.
Right, now that's the truth.
Coming up, Chrisean Rock is under arrest. Stay.
Again.
Ah.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
We are chopping it up with the host of Marriage Bootcamp, Dr. Ish Major. Welcome to the show.
TGIF.
When you and I sit down and have a heart-to-heart with no phones, no distraction, am I your person? That's the question.
Every weekday.
Kelly says, I love Ish on my screen. Is he single, asking for a friend?
Join the chat.
I am single, Kelly. Who's the friend?
Kelly, who's the friend? Please comment back.
On Fox Soul.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
My mom wanted my life to be better than what she had as a kid. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. You always want the next generation to have something better than what you had.
Welcome back to the show. All right, y'all. Nicki Minaj has the Barbs flustered after she tweeted, yes, single. Now, fans, of course, speculated that Nicki could be either talking about her marriage or new music. Armand, I'm going to you first. You're the music expert here. What do you think Nicki's tweet was about?
Let's be clear. Nicki Minaj is way too clever with her music to just drop, yes, single. I'm dropping a single. She wouldn't do that. And she's on a whole tour. She dropped a whole album. If she was going to drop a single, she would have done it in a much more clever way. So this clearly is indicative to her relationship being over. There's things that's happening with her, and from my opinion, with Kenneth Petty. And she's also been displaying erratic behavior online, which fans feel like, is she under the influence? Is she, self-medicating? So I'm just hoping that everything is okay with her. She did a show last night, and she kind of was really honing in on particular punchlines that was indicative to her relationship and marital status. And so all the roads and signs lead to, there's trouble in the kingdom with her and Mr. Petty.
Do you think that'd be good for her, though, if they did split up? Because it seems like he's like an anchor on her because she's such a star and he's such a...
Oh, yeah. And as a fan, this is fantastic for me. I'm excited because I always wanted her to detach from him. But I know she now has a child with him. She's in love with him. So at this moment, it's like grieving a death. Like, she still has to go through it. But we the people are like, yes.
Nina said she's definitely not divorcing Canada. She paid too much money for him. All right. You know what? Let's move on. We have some more things to talk about. Chrisean Rock is under arrest after attending Blueface's court case in California. Now, the reality star was spotted walking into the courthouse with her baby, Chrisean Jr., and shortly after, she was escorted out in handcuffs. Chrisean was arrested on a felony fugitive warrant, and she's being held without bail. Are you surprised? Al, I'm going to you first on this. What do you think?
Am I surprised? Are we surprised? I'm just surprised this whole generation does stuff like this. They show their criminal activity. We talked about this on the show before. You have an outstanding warrant for your arrest, a bench warrant. Why would you go to the courthouse? That's where it's easier to execute it, like in a matter of seconds, and you're going to be surrounded. So you're basically giving yourself up. So is she doing it for attention, maybe to take the attention off of him? But then she lost her baby. Now her baby's with her friend. I don't know. I just wish it's the baby for me. I wish the baby all the best.
All right, Lunel, what are your thoughts on this? I know you like, why we, I know.
I care more about the bed bugs and that white woman's sheets than I do about Chrisean Rock. I don't care. She is irrelevant. It's a sad state of affairs that we even pay any attention to her. So I don't have no comment. I couldn't care less. I don't like to go to jail. I've been myself. I don't really wish that on nobody. But you talk about a wake-up call when you're sitting in that room and you don't have your phone, you can't scroll, you can't call nobody, you can't do nothing. Maybe her sitting down might give her a chance to reevaluate the multiple horrible decisions that she's made in her life.
Wow. You know what's sad? Before I go to your mind, I just want to say real quickly, while Blueface has been in jail, it's been some of the most peaceful times on the internet because we have been spared from Chrisean and Blueface news for the past few months, and it has been great. And then she just takes back all that progress just to show support to this dude, which will probably be out in these streets as soon as he gets out. What are your thoughts on this, Armand?
I think this was a stupid move, and I also feel like this is just a toxic situation for this baby to be in because everything is still clout driven and clicks and views driven, and then even more so, just shows how disgusting it is that out of both parents are in jail. The mom shows up there with cameras. The dad says he doesn't want to take the baby. The mom didn't take. Blueface's mom didn't take the baby. Blueface's dad said he ain't no babysitter, and so now your baby, and they're arguing that the baby might be autistic and have Down syndrome, and so now that baby is now with her friend Marsh. And while the two parents are locked up, it's just a crazy situation, and it's unfortunate for the children, but people will do anything for that algorithm.
They will.
Keisha Smith said it's because Blueface is the most important thing to her, and Boss Chick said the alcohol killed her brain cells. All right, check out this post. It says, since I stopped texting first, I have not heard from a lot of people in a while. Can y'all relate to this? Armand, what do you think?
Absolutely. I feel like a lot of times I'm always leading the charge. You're like, what's going on? What are you guys doing? I have great ideas. But then the people don't seem to pour back into you the same way. And so when I noticed when I started bringing that down, then I wouldn't do anything. There would be no plans. There would be no liquor. There would be no going out. And so I said, you know what? Maybe I need to switch my circle because if I'm the only one always putting in first, they don't value me the same way because I see them still doing it for other people. So you just got to put yourself first. And, that definitely makes sense.
Linnell, what you think about this?
Well, my day ones and stuff, we stay in touch back and forth, blah, blah, blah. Right. I do feel like there's way more people that I reach out to that are not really, just to stay connected and to say hi than to reach out to me first. So I'm going to have to piggyback off what Armand said.
Okay. Alan, what do you think?
I'm thinking, listening to Lunel and Armand, I got to start texting some people back.
Oh, you're the one.
Oh my God, I'm guilty. I got to start texting some people back. Oh, okay. I get it. I promise you, I just had an aha moment. I guess I have to start texting some people back. I didn't think that all the time that when they're texting that they were soliciting, a response. But thank you for that.
No. That is my number one pet peeve with anybody, especially a man. If I text you and you don't text me back, not only text me back, but in a timely fashion, unless you was on a plane or something like that, I will dead the relationship. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing it. Because
it's about texting first sometimes. Just a hi, how are you? Or,
Got it.
Yeah.
It's not really texting back. It's more initiating the conversation.
But once you do text somebody, then you do expect a response back. Hey, how are you? Oh, I'm good. I'm in Cabo or something like that. You got to text me back, bro. I'll reach out and text first, but you do need to text back. And I do text people first. And if you don't text me back, then I put a little emoji.
I think that you start getting in a routine where that person, that one person's always doing the reaching out. And I don't think that's fair. And then that person will somehow find a way to be able to text you around award show season when they want to go to something, they want to get hooked up. Then they somehow can find your number and find a way to call you. And I make note of that as well. Like you can't. Before we go, make a note of, Lunel, I know there's some chatter on the internet. There's some talk, and I know this is going to come to fruition. They're talking about doing a late night talk show with you, Jimmy Kimmel, right?
Yes, David Letterman actually got the ball rolling with Jimmy Kimmel. And we are now in more than talks. We're moving forward to, we're running out of time. You're going to come on the show and announce it when it drops. Yes, I will.
I'm thanking Al Reynolds, Armand Wiggins, and Lunel for joining us tonight. Thanks.